Phoenix plays ETC Jaina, and the support, Stukov. Very strong on MSP even before that, but post MSP, time is changing. You have to really maybe go back all the way. And even Greymane is available. I think going back to their old favorite, maybe even bringing some Tassadar for themselves, making sure they have Greymane and Sonya, and everything else to just keep them alive, for them to get kills, great camp timings, and that was why they excelled in Open Division back then so much. I think something like that, going back to what they were good at, really trying to upgrade what they were doing well, could actually be another path for them to take.
I mean, alternatively, they can still try to stick with what they're doing right now, the Maiev and here, respect-wise. They can try to stick with what they're doing right now and try to work on execution and play a little bit more safely in the early game. Already banning out the Maiev means they're going to be safer in general. They've got first pick. Would love to see the Phoenix again over Malfurion here. Take the draft into your hands. Don't try to respond to a draft with first pick where your opponent has the better drafting, best drafting team in the world. So that's exactly what they do. They take the Phoenix. Your rel's a given, and it will be the Phoenix, or sorry, excuse me, Malfurion to pair with it. But now Feliz is dictating the draft.
Very hard. What do they pair up with?
Garrosh is open. If they want to be more aggressive in the early game, if they want to take the early game into their hands and control the 4-man, it's going to be a tough matchup with almost anybody right now versus Urel in the top lane. So I think you kind of go all in on wave clear and some threatening power. Kill potential, you ban the Maiev. Malfurion's not that scary on its own right now.
I think for Feliz, it is time to really adapt to something else, or at least show some of their new colors. As you said, had some changes to Hannah, maybe bring out the old Thrall, which has worked on this map for Tempest.
Okay, they take the Kharazim. We were talking about this.
Nicely done.
And they give a global to the top lane. So Hanaten is going to be able to stick around longer, try to out-soak when Urel is rotating. She's more of a rotating style soul laner. Sonya, for example. Okay, we'll see Muradin banned. Pretty safe ban.
Yeah, that's OJ's most hero played.
Yep.
With a pretty high win rate as well, compared to every other tank that he has played, basing on this 2018 stat, including phase 1.
Through that, ETC is banned as well. So what does Feliz have planned in terms of their main tank? We see the Nubarak come through with Hanzo. It was likely either to be the Hanzo or the Tracer.
Just first, the Nubarak this phase has been playing only Muradin, Johanna, and few Tyraels. Will be the 4th hero, part 1.
Going back to what I was saying about wave clear and the 4-man, I think Johanna ends up being a pretty solid pick here for OJ. Not his favorite, not his best. And he's played it 3 times, went 0-3 this season. Of course, they're winless, so he's zeros across the board, but he's played it 3 times, and that's the key thing.
Maybe putting on some mage, or just think about leaving against the Cocoon. And OJ's Johanna wasn't actually not too bad.
Yeah, no, I think his Johanna is really good. I think personally for me, it's been the standout pick for the season for him. Even though his Muradin is where he feels more comfortable, I think he actually has a bigger impact on Johanna. Falstad going to come in as wave control, so 2 globals here. The problem with the double global like this is it's hard to utilize against the comp on the other side that's constantly threatening you. And if you're not winning the 4-man with double global, well, first of all, if you're winning the 4-man, one of your globals is in the 4-man, isn't doing much else. You can swap a lot. You can fly to control the objectives if Gen.G is rotating around as 4-man, for example. But I think with this draft, they don't have to. It's Urel. Like, she can stand on that top shrine forever.
Looking for resets. It's going to be Jaina. It's going to be 4th time in this part. Phase 2 part 1. I'm slightly expecting something different. Maybe even a Sergeant Hammer, because they still have the peel from Urel, and they can even turn that around with some dives from a Nubarak. but maybe against the double global, it's a little bit more stationary. And they want it to be a little more flexible with the burst damage Jaina here as the final pick from Gen.G.
Good wave clear too for the 4-man. And if Phoenix ends up getting caught, you're not getting out alive. Like if Phoenix gets his warp interrupted, he's dead. So it means the Anubarak pick is a lot stronger too in that 4-man lane. Dahaka's going to be a losing matchup versus Yrel, but you have the extra soak potential. Falstad can split up there as well. Just be the standard soul lane build coming out for Yrel here as well with the auto attack heals after abilities. Nothing out of the ordinary here. Although Harazim is not locking in Iron Fist, which
10초 남았다.
I don't know if it'd be a bigger upset if Feliz beats Gen.G in the series, or if Harazim doesn't lock in Iron Fist. I'm not sure which one it's going to be.
잘 싸워라 영웅.
Flight coming in first.
Oh, it is the
Oh.
fist, of course. Well, you had your chances.
Well, you know, pretty standard. Hinatan gets caught. Blown up here with the follow-up stun as Kyocho wants to get the slows.
Pretty standard that Hanatan gets caught.
No, I meant to say standard level 1.
Yes.
But then as he was dying, it made it look like I was throwing shade. I mean, the guy does have 8 kills, 24 deaths. It's not the greatest KDA the league has ever seen, but I'm not trying to be mean. It just happened right when I said that. I was referring to level 1 talents, okay?
Oh, yes.
Everything's meta.
Just that's the time.
Nothing's weird. So they're going to lane swap a little bit here temporarily while he was dead.
고대 신단이 깨어났다.
30 seconds till the shrines come up.
차지하고 용기사를 풀어줘.
A weird distribution.
They're invading super
Falstad
hard.
plus the Haka on top. Of course, maybe they wanted to focus a little bit, and that's the reason why they will actually lose a little bit in the bot lane. On Falstad mid, does look a lot better.
I would love to see Reset stats right now because he has no mana. And you know that means he's been using his abilities every time they're off cooldown, trying to get value either in the lane or on the invades. They, I don't think, should contest this. Yeah, Feliz has Aimer here. They didn't have vision. Tist actually may pay the price. Great Impale on the way out there. It was a really nice setup for Aimer to actually punish that invade, but like Gen.G was like, hey, you know what? I don't know where he is. Let's back out.
Well,
Let's leave.
he had the borrow charge. I think the reason why they were invading so early game, they got their own camp control, and because they're up against double global, maybe just calling the Haka into the fight, just escaping without any casualty, and just helping the solo lane Yrel to actually have an easier time to have that solo matchup against the Haka. I think that was the reason why. Pretty complicated, but I think everyone gets the reason why. Didn't really succeed because they couldn't really go in. Even without the Haka, they have Falstad as well.
Yrel is going to grab that top shrine. The bottom shrine is still controlled by Feliz. Tist is making a rotation down. They see him, or rather the lack of vision of him means that they know that this is coming. Dudu should not actually be the one to check this. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and trade this out. Good play by Leo. They can't hold this forever. Falstad's getting soaked mid, but they need to accept that they are going to have both shrines controlled by Gen.G here. They need to have a rotation down from Falstad, I think. OJ is insanely low. Reset is going in deep. Great Iron Skin there at the last second, though, and they are going to get the kill on a Reset.
Baited.
Baited super hard, and look, OJ escapes, walks out.
And Hanatan joins the fight as long as they have control in one shrine. Opponent will never... 313. Will never get the Dragon Knight. And that's what they're focusing. I like this play. As long as they have one control, they will never give one out, but... Oh, Hanatan getting caught a little bit here.
Body blocked by Tist. Your Nubrock's character model is huge.
The battle of the bugs. One wins. The other one goes down.
Indeed. It's not the Lurker skin, so it's not the Battle of the Zergs in this case. Okay, Dudu way overstepping his bounds here. Liu looks for the kill. Rich jumps over the wall. Close call there for Rich, and a good attempt there by Liu to get that counter kill. But Yrel's going top, man. This could actually be a Dragon Knight potentially.
But the Haka is also going up because they know they're losing bottom.
There's a window of time. Resets looking mid.
OJ goes down.
Blown up.
Perfect scatter off
Great
the
scatter.
turret.
That should be a Dragon Knight. Urels did not squat the top shrine, so it's not going to happen. She wanted to make sure she didn't lose that experience. Contesting now is Kyojo up here. Reset has actually been the roamer this game. He's actually going top to bottom non-stop looking for picks. He has that burst damage, and if he stays mid, he has good wave clear against Falstad, so he is gonna maybe come down here. Dudu caught once again, rooted,
No
and
warp?
blown up.
I guess he didn't really have the good time to actually warp out so many crowd control.
Yeah, he might have used it before off camera, but I don't think so. It might have been interrupted. Speaking of interrupts, Aimer's escape was interrupted there by Tist. Gen.G goes up 6-1 now. I keep saying that, you know, this is a potential Dragon Knight, this is a potential Dragon Knight, but this one looks to be pretty convincing as Urel heads top, jump over the wall and squat this, reset, unleashes. There's the first Dragon Knight of the game, 5.5 minutes in. And Gen.G's going to play it pretty conservatively towards 10, grabbing as many mini waves as possible, keeping Urel top,
Feliz
bottom.
At least getting out-rotated. And even kick. First Dragon Knight shouldn't really do too much, but because of the wave clear that they have so much control, they hit 10. But at least even if they overextend just by a little bit, the other 4 are actually going to catch the kills. Not going to be the Dragon Strike in this case. Looking forward to pick up a few more kills.
Well, Rich is in a really dangerous spot. I think trying to bait this fight into his favor. Does not get the scatter arrows onto Liu like he wanted. But Kyochik was rotating down. That was kind of a cool idea.
Still connects a decent amount of damage. The main problem has been at least not really understanding and knowing where Tist is all the time. Those Boro charges hitting the mark almost every single time. And with a follow-up with the entangling root from Valkyrie, and in the mid-time, Hanzo Jaina just stacking up the damage, and that's likely to be a kill. Everyone except for Johanna, basically. And even OJ has died to a couple of body blocks into damage, and because he couldn't really escape. At least so far, they were trying to, especially the early game until now, try to contest this bottom shrine, which they're not really getting too much at. Maybe just focusing on 1 instead of the 2. Can be a little better to buy time for themselves.
It's just so tough because they have decent poke, but not the greatest. And Gen.G has so much experience at collapsing on targets that trying to poke. Look at this. Look at how quickly they escape there. The arrow comes through, forces the gust. But that rotation down was called out so long ago from Kyoji in the top lane that like it accomplished nothing. Now they're losing soak in the top lane as that camp is being taken out. Gen.G could even look to start poking at the support as they clear this wave. Because Doc and or Falstad has to go back up top now. They use the water elemental. That's one thing that's a little bit unfortunate for Gen.G.
Taking the rotation down with Hanson. Even Falstad without the flight, so it's gonna take some time.
7 side keeps you alive for a
little while. It is a 4v4 now, and we see Rel diving in Jaina.
Kyocho's coming down. Avenging Wrath on top of Hanaten. Ironskin trying to keep alive OJ here as Rich just waits for it to expire. And they trade Jaina for the full team wipe. Sake walks away here, doesn't need his ice block. And Gen.G should be able to turn this into map control. Probably not a Dragon Knight. The death timer's pretty short still at 8.5 minutes into the game. They will be able to hold them both for a moment, but I don't think it's guaranteed Dragon Knight by any means.
Yeah, that team fight and how Feliz was trying to turn that over. They were pretending they were going top, but a little late of a rotation together. Hanson first, and then 5 seconds after Falstad without the flight.
They actually do get it. They don't end up controlling the top shrine. They didn't commit to the brush stock. You know, 2v1 up there, so you know, it would have been tough to defend and risky. So I guess giving this isn't the end of the world. You know, ideally they would have liked to prevent it, but it's very, very, very risky. They don't have map vision and stuff, so They don't want to give it and get, you know, a lost team fight.
Oh yes, sure.
But this is just another advantage for Gen.G, unfortunately, for Feliz. I mean, they took a risk, or rather they assessed a risk and decided not to take it. It's risky in itself. But leaving the Dragon Knight here means they're going to lose mid-fort. It doesn't end up being the greatest Dragon Knight of all time. Just removing 2 more forts off the map means Gen.G is closer to 16.
I think Feliz, they need to be quick, still with a big level gap, because they have lots of percent damage and some burst as well. Oh no. They do need Hannafin to make that work. Johanna buying some time.
Tranquility up here. When reset pops out, he can do a lot of damage. He gets gusted, drops the elemental. OJ's caught, slowed, 7-sided. He get, well, not 7-sided by his teammate, of course. Look at that arrow!
Sniped by Hanzo, headshot there.
7-sided did not save Karazim yet again. He's trying to use these as an escape. Doesn't get it. Hanatan's getting burned down now. That's going to be 3 dead for Feliz. Gen.G looking to bring us up to a 2-0 score. I mean, they're 14 kills to 2. It doesn't get much more one-sided than this.
It is pretty painful for Feliz.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, I'm sorry, guys, but this was predicted to be a one-sided series, and so far that has come true.
And the reason why, because they have the calls, but it's always a little bit a tempo late, a beat late compared to Gen.G. The reason why they have Karazim Falstad is it is for the isolation. To have gushed onto the 4 target, make sure they have 1 7-sided with some burst damage from Falstad, and Phoenix should be able to catch at least 1 target. Even Nirel or not even Nirel or even an Ubarak. It is very possible. They have lots of CCs to pair up with, but there's always late. They're often into a very dirty mud fight all the time, so they can't really have all the 7-sided targeting down 1 target. And Gen.G makes that happen because they stay together.
Yeah, they stay together. They're so coordinated, and even though like there's an opportunity to gust during burrow charge, it's such a small window of time. Zarel actually went for her sacred ground, which I haven't really seen too much of.
Super short cooldown, so Gyocha actually used that to bring down the fort and takes the damage himself.
Yep, just builds up that armor. As you can see, just jumping on top of his teammates to give the 35 passive armor that comes from level 4 talent. Grabbing a keep, looking for the engage. Dudu's caught, arrowed, blizzard, and the gust is just a second too late, but that's all it takes. Dead Phoenix, 4 level lead. It persists here for Gen.G.
It's Proto.
And I wasn't trying to call Blizzard's balance team out there. It was just the ability that was stacked on top there. Like after all the CC change.
Yeah, all the CC change, and they're guessing. They're having a guessing game where the Haka is. Of course, they do. Ooh, Tis knows. Tis has been there the entire time. Heard the Haka coming. Just buying time to squat for the Dragon Knight. Johanna's there for time. OJ can't stop this for only first.
Gonna be close, but they get it. Oh man, feels so bad right now if you're a Feliz fan. Dude, just gonna come over here and poke. They gotta be careful. They don't have vision of where Yrel is. Kyocha's sneaking around. They're gonna kill Hanaten first. He's caught. He does actually sneak out. He's gonna, well, looked like he wanted to try to Hearth. Kyocha's gonna go chase him down. Meanwhile, this can go directly to the core. He's Hearthing. They ignore him.
Whew! That falsity. It's almost a dead chicken.
Well, this is looking like the push to end them all. Gust is available. I can only buy a little bit of time, though.
Yeah, they're delaying because Cocoon is back in 3 seconds.
Yep. OJ is very low. He's getting poked down by Rich currently. Hanaten caught here. Here's the follow-up stun. The Gust well-timed. 7-sided does not really connect.
They tried the isolation. It wasn't too perfect. They get 1 down. May connect with Karazim and even more with OJ. Second 1 down, dude. They're trying to do damage. Not going to really. Does connect and survive, but core's already going down. Last man standing.
He does avoid the scatter arrows as Falstad flies out of spawn, but does not accomplish anything as Gen.G goes up with a 2-0 here. 4-level lead for the majority of Dragonshire. They're 1 win away from an early night here at the HGC Korea BSL studio. It's 10 minutes to 9 p.m. This may be one of our faster nights here, as Gen.G is just pulling no punches against the currently ranked last place team in HGC Korea. It's tough to face off against such a world-class team. The drafting has not been bad by any means for Feliz. Pulled out the Johanna. I like the double global concept.
73k?
Yes. Versus 16k.
Is that even
maximum
possible?
damage. Well, this is calculated by computer GPUF, so I'm going to say yeah. We've never had technical difficulties or miscalculations on the computer before.
My goodness, I should quit playing Hanzo.
Quit playing Hanzo?
Or, that's why I'm never pro. Rich, I mean, his scatter damage was insane. Always going through and doing massive damage on